although better remembered for mapping the Moon. Johann Heinrich Madler and Wilhelm Beer were the first areographers. They began by establishing that most of Mars' surface features were permanent and by more precisely determining the planet's rotation period. In 1840, Madler combined 10 years of observations and drew the first map of Mars. Features on Mars are named from a variety of sources. Albedo features are named for classical mythology. Craters larger than roughly 50 kilometers are named for deceased scientists and writers and others who have contributed to the study of Mars. Smaller craters are named for towns and villages of the world with populations of less than 100,000. Large valleys are named for the word Mars or star in various languages. Smaller valleys are named for rivers. Large albedo features retain many of the older names but are often updated to reflect new knowledge of the nature of the features. For example, Nix Olympica, the snows of Olympus, has become Olympus Mons, Mount Olympus. The surface of Mars as seen from Earth is divided into two kinds of areas with differing albedo. The paler plains covered with dust and sand rich in reddish iron oxides were once thought of as Martian continents, and given names like Arabia Terra, Land of Arabia, or Amazonas Planitia, Amazonian Plain. The dark features were thought to be seas. Hence their names Mare Erythraeum, Mare Cyrenum and Aurore Sinus. The largest dark feature seen from Earth is Syrtis Major Planum. The permanent northern polar ice cap is named Planum Boreum. The southern cap is called Planum Australe. Mars' equator is defined by its rotation, but the location of its prime meridian was specified, as was Earth's, at Greenwich. By choice of an arbitrary point, Madler and Beer selected a line for their first maps of Mars in 1830. After the spacecraft Mariner 9 provided extensive imagery of Mars in 1972, a small crater, later called Airy 0, located in the Sinus Meridiani, Middle Bay, or Meridian Bay, was chosen by Merton Davies, Harold Masursky, and Gerard de Vaucouleurs for the definition of 0 degrees longitude to coincide with the original selection. Because Mars has no oceans and hence no sea level, a zero elevation surface had to be selected as a reference level. This is called the areoid of Mars. Analogous to the terrestrial geoid, zero altitude was defined by the height at which there is 610.5 pascals, 105 millibars, of atmospheric pressure. This pressure corresponds to the triple point of water, and it is about 0.6% of the sea level surface pressure on Earth, 0.006 atm. For mapping purposes, the United States Geological Survey divides the surface of Mars into 30 cartographic quadrangles, each named for a classical albedo feature it contains. In April 2023, The New York Times reported an updated global map of Mars based on images from the Hope spacecraft. A related, but much more detailed, global Mars map was released by NASA on 16 April 2023.